large yellow eyes, and a body that slinks along in the shadows and you can't ever quite see, but you know something's watching. Today, my spooky pickles, we are talking about the Beast of Bodmin moor. I told you I was going to start doing more English cryptids. Now this is I think it's quite a popular one. It's in the top 10, like when I search English cryptids, and I have heard of it a little bit before. So today we're going to get into it. So, the Beast of Bodmin moor is believed to be like a large cat, sort of like a panther-looking cat, and it's Bodmin moor is in Cornwall, by the way, and it's around the 1970s that all this started to happen, these sightings. So it's a fairly new one. We're going to get into it because apparently there've been over 60 sightings and like so many incidences happening with this creature. So it's, yes, the moors of Bodmin. I think a lot of moors sort of have an eerie, creepy vibe about them. I don't know if it's just me, but especially the ones in Cornwall. Apparently there's like a lot of history and myth around them. I want to get more into that one day. So basically what people have reported is a lot of people have said they believe it around 5 foot without the tail. I don't know how you'd measure something without the tail, but it looks around like 5 feet long. It's quite large, black looking cat. A lot of people say it sort of looks panther-esque, like very large panther looking, sleek feline creature, blends in with the shadows because if it's dark, obviously in the moors when it's darker it could hide very easily. Also, if you've seen moors, it's like really uneven, so there's bumps and hills and different lengths of grass and shrubs and all kinds of things, so it could quite easily hide. And apparently the feeling people say when there's been sightings is like a really eerie, ominous feeling or feeling of being watched, but they can't always see it, or they come across something, think it's something else, and like, oh, that's a really large black cat, not a house cat or not like a big black lab. Like, what is that doing here? And luckily it always just either disappears or slinks off. Oh, sorry, I feel like I need to sneeze. But yeah, so over 60 sightings and lots of incidences with cattle and, things like sheep and animal agriculture kind of thing. So there's been lots of complaints and incidences where farmers or things like sheep and things have been attacked. And when it's been investigated, like the person investigating the death of the animal has said it's been killed in what looks like it would be a big cat attack because it's like its neck had been bitten. So like large cats like to strangle and suffocate their victims by like biting the neck or just tearing the throat out. So a lot of animals had been killed that way. Some had been eaten, some had been torn to pieces, some hadn't. I think depends if this creature got disturbed mid-kill, whatever. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. But yeah, one of the sightings that is believed to have happened is Rosemary Rhodes, I believe. She thought she was having a walk one day on the moors, because apparently people like to do that. I don't. Any moors. I've read way too many books and seen way too many things and looked up way too many things. I don't find that appealing. But she was walking on the moors, and at first she thought she saw a black lab because people go on the moors to walk the dogs and stuff. So she thought, oh, it's a black lab off in the distance. But as it got closer and as she was walking, she was like, oh, it's not a dog. And she was like, oh, it's quite big to be a dog. What is it? And then she saw, oh, it's a massive black cat. So yeah, that's a bit terrifying, but it sort of slunk off. And apparently there are a few pictures online as well. Like, they're not perfect, but I don't know. If I came across a scarily massive black cat that looked like a panther to me, the last thing I would think to do is let's take my phone out to take a picture. Now, mine would be to like slowly back away so I didn't get eaten or attacked by this creature. So that's just my thought on it. I know a lot of people out there don't have much self-preservation, but I would not be trying to take a picture of it. I would be trying to escape that situation away from whatever kind of creature it was, because I don't want to stick around to prove to anyone anything. I just don't want to get eaten. Also, I don't think it tastes nice because, if it's a carnivorous animal, I'm vegan. I don't know how good I'd taste. Just putting it out there. Any cannibals out there, I don't think I'll taste nice either, so don't come for me. I'm quite dark, aren't I? Let me check my notes. Yes, there's also been lots of cat scat, it's called, cat poo, being found on the moors, which is too big to be house cats, but also not the right kind of poo to be dog's poo or sheep's poo. I think we all know what that looks like. It's weird. Yeah, it's clearly large cat feces, basically. Some has had hair in it, and when it's been tested, it's come from different places, and it's foreign in origin. So I don't know if that means anything to anyone. Yeah, also, there's lots and lots of there is wildlife on the moors, like I said, there's sheep, there's loads of rabbits, there's loads of birds. So a wild cat of any size could easily sustain itself, to be fair. Wouldn't be getting about eating grass. There is life on there for it to sustain itself, so it could be possible. One of the theories, well, I'm going to go through a few theories of what it could be, is an escaped cat or exotic pets. Because let me check, 1976, there was a Wild Animal Act, which said it was illegal to own certain animal breeds, and under that covered a lot of large cats. So what did people do? Did they surrender these cats? Did they do the right thing? No, they didn't. They just set off. You go into the wild now, literally. So it could be one of, or it could be multiple sightings of these different species of cat that have just been off you go. There's the wild, be free. Because they don't want to get a fine and they don't want to surrender the animal to the authorities or, God forbid, have them destroyed, which we all know what that means. It's horrible, so they just set them free, which is a very real possibility. Or it could be a mixed breed of two different large cats. I don't know how possible that is biologically. I'm not a biologist, but certain cats can interbreed, I do believe. It's not like mules, so it could be that. Another theory is there was a circus shut down in the 1970s, and they did have a lot of large cats. And again, same as with the Wild Cat Act, they just released them into the wild. I mean, how inappropriate is that, A? Not good for the animal, and B, if this is a large, wild or exotic animal, does that seem like a safe option for the public? Even if it's in the moors, the moors are big, but people do go on there. People camp there apparently as well. I'm not a camper. I'm not a moor walker. I like a nature walk, but on the path. Because also, I was definitely not a carrier pigeon in another life. I will get lost. And I just don't want to die. And I've seen American Werewolf in London. Have you seen that? No, thank you. I would rather not. Yeah, the government actually did an investigation because there were so many sightings and things happening, incidences with livestock being eaten and attacked. So the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries declared it a phantom. What a thing! Apparently, the findings were inconclusive, but they basically said it's probably not real because there wasn't any solid evidence on either side to say it existed or not. So we're just going to say it doesn't, and it's a phantom and people are imagining it. Because apparently there was lots of different red herrings. There was I think it was a jaguar skull or a cheetah skull. I didn't write it down. A large cat skull found, but it turned out it was from someone's exotic rug. I don't know the whole. Yeah, I don't even want to know. That's all I could find. I can't find why this was on the moors. I don't know what people did with this rug and where it had a skull. The head was probably attached to the rug. But I don't know. People are weird. So yeah, and because when they analysed the different scat, there was different hairs in each kind of sample. So they were no, it can't be the same beast then. Well, no, it doesn't have to be the same beast, does it? But there could be a few of these kinds of beasts. But Anyway, the government said, nah, there isn't. So, okay. But we don't know. A lot of people think it could be like a supernatural entity. Some people think it's like an alien. Because its eyes are so yellow and it said that they look like they're glowing. I think cat's eyes just glow in the dark. But it could be an alien. I don't know. A lot of people could think it's just be like an actual phantom cat, like a ghost cat. Do you get ghost animals? I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to look it up. Look out for that. I'm going to do ghost animals at some point. I've just decided. Oh, it could. Some people think it could be like a surviving prehistoric kind of cat. No, not all the way from like prehistoric times, but like genetically linked, I think, to some sort of prehistoric creature. So there are the theories on what it could be. And what the government says, it's not a real thing, but so many people have seen it or a version of it or different sightings of creatures that are similar. So I think there's probably wildcats on there, to be quite honest. I think there's probably wildcats on there. Couldn't tell you what kind of wildcats, couldn't tell you exactly where they're from. But I do believe there is something out there. Can't tell you if it's supernatural or not. That's just the evidence the research I've found, and the evidence not really conclusive, but even the government couldn't figure it out, so that's what I could find on it. It wasn't the most informative research I could. This took a long time as well just to find this in my research. Every source I found just said the same thing. So if you have any more, or you know any more, if you have any stories that I don't know about the Beast of Bodmin Moor, let me know, because I am actually interested. I would actually like to know, is it just one creature? Is it a cat? Is it an alien? Is it multiple cats? Is it multiple different breeds of cats that have intermixed because of this circus, just letting cats go? And then the Wildlife Act? I think that's the more likely theory, to be honest. But if you have any theories or any evidence or any pictures, let me know. And have a lovely rest of your day, my spooky pickles. I'll see you soon.